Hey everyone, so it's time to get geeky about maps. So put your stamp collection away, and it starts at this kind of level where you can zoom right into the building. So here we are in the home in Miami, and it's just remarkably detailed. It's huge map. You can just see, just scroll in a little bit out, zoom in a little bit out, a little bit more, you can see a little bit more. And the reality is that the game itself is just massive. It's not the entirety of the US, but it's as much of the entirety of the US that you're ever going to get in a video game. And it is genuinely huge. So you can see you've got kind of Florida down here, New York up here, and then you've got some of the big cities. You've got Detroit, Chicago, you've got Las Vegas, Salt Lake City up here, San Francisco. I mean, there's just so much to it. And again, it doesn't matter where you are. You want to be here? Let's zoom in, let's see what's going on. You can just literally zoom on in. And you can keep going, and it's incredible. Just look at that. It's amazing. Suddenly we've got a marina, a jetty. So detailed. It is ridiculous. So this is the interactive map that you got. And firstly, I think one of the things to kind of call out is that while it's great when you're on it, it's not always so easy to get to this interactive map, in particular from free roam, unless you kind of know what you're doing. So I'll be covering how you kind of get back to the interactive map from free roam in a little bit, but I'm just going to go through some of the cooler elements. Now, not only can you see all of the events, and when you zoom out you don't actually see everything that you can do, you've got to kind of like zoom in just a little bit to see extra things that you can do. So you can see there's like an escape here, there's a speed trap down here, and then there's a slalom run here. But when you zoom completely out, you've got all of the main classification events. So we've got street races, we've got powerboat, and there's plane aerobatics, which is pretty cool. But let's say you want to get into the details. Let's say you only want to see all of the powerboat sections. Well, the genius guys at Ivory Tower have put in some filters. You can see all of the controls at the bottom of the screen. So you just go into filters, and you can change this using the left and right buttons. So you just click over here. Let's say you want to see it by status or difficulty or vehicle or family or discipline or special. You can just go into all the detail, and each one of these filters is incredibly detailed. Let's say you wanted to see world. There you go, you suddenly get the world. Turn it off and you can go around and just see everything in a whole different way, so that the map suddenly opened up and you can do different things as and when you want to. So for example, if you just wanted to smash out all of the drift events that you've got, you can just go in here, click on drift, and they get highlighted on the map. So there you can see I've got the 8 drift events, but not all of them are active yet. It's only the ones in color and flashing that you can take on. Any ones that have just got the black icons, they're still yet to be unlocked. So I need to level up to famous to be able to take on this drift challenge. And that's pretty much the same for the entirety of the interactive map. So if I go back into filters and take out the drift, suddenly all of the events appear, but any of the ones in black are yet to be unlocked. But it does give you a bit more of an idea of the scope and how many different things you can actually face in the game. You can also use the map to set waypoints. So let's say you want to go somewhere in particular, maybe down here. What have we got? Big land. What was this down here? Meteor crater. Let's say you wanted to head down to see Meteor crater. You can just press X to set a waypoint, and suddenly you've got a marker that you can just drive to, and it gives you all the road routes to be able to make it over to it. And then you can just click on it to remove that waypoint if you don't want to, or you get halfway there and you realize it's a long way to go. So that's a quick run through of the map itself, but there's bound to be a few of you guys that have tried out the game, been out on a free roam, and still not been able to get back to the map. So here you can see I'm out in the plane in free roam, and it's great, I can fly on around, but then if I hit the options button, there is no interactive map in sight. And for me, it's a bit of an oversight that the interactive map isn't accessible from this main menu. It just seems like every other game that you play, it's relatively easy to get to the interactive map or the map system, but in The Crew 2 doesn't seem so obvious. However, it isn't that difficult to get to the map. So if you're playing on PS4, it's simply a case of clicking on the touch button in the middle of your controller and suddenly you're into the map. And you can zoom out and zoom back in again relatively easily. So while it wasn't necessarily obvious what you've got to do to get to the map, it is accessible relatively easily. So hopefully that helps you guys out. And here's kind of a view of the mapping of your controller. So if you're not playing it on the PS4, you should be able to come into this view and see where the button is for the map on your controller. So hopefully that helps you guys out, and if it does, drop us a like below. You can also check out the rest of our videos for The Crew 2 with the links on the right hand side, and subscribe to the channel with the links on the left. Make sure you hit that bell button to get notifications for all of our videos as they come out. Leave any comments below, let us know how you're getting on in the game, and I will catch you next time. Cheers guys!